Okay, so the other night I was looking at this video and it's called YouTube Algorithms in 2025 Explained. So basically, today I'm going to be just taking the main points of this video and then explaining what that actually means and, putting my little 2 cents in there too. All right, so who exactly are these two people? So this is Todd and Renee, and Todd leads the product team for growth and discovery at YouTube, and Renee is the YouTube creator liaison. So he serves as a bridge between YouTube creators and its sort of like internal teams. So both of these guys work at YouTube basically. So the YouTube recommendation system, how exactly do it work? Basically, it prioritizes individual viewers rather than, just pushing out videos. So basically, it analyzes the performance rate metrics like the click through rate and the view duration, but it's all personalized based on the viewer. So if one viewer that has a specific type of interest has a, very long view duration, the video is going to be pushed out to more people like that person. Next is automation, word of mouth. And, like I said in sort of like the last point, the next is automation, word of mouth. So basically, like how I said in the last video, you don't have to really do much promoting for your YouTube video. I know a question that I always get a lot of times is, okay, how do you promote your YouTube videos and how do you get more viewers to it? And of course, there are ways to do that, but YouTube automatically sort of like pushes your videos out and it pushes it out to the people who it thinks best fits whatever you're talking about. So it's going to do it automatically anyway, and it's going to also try to find more of the people that's going to like your content automatically. That's just how it works. So the third thing they talked about was sort of like dynamic recommendations. So basically, videos don't have a one-time opportunity to perform well. They can become relevant again for like a few different reasons. So it can be relevant again because of trends, related content, nostalgia, or even if it's like evergreen content. So basically, what that means is if you post a video one time and you see it doesn't get a lot of views, don't delete the video, don't be sad because it can possibly again resurface in the algorithm. And I actually have an example for this. So in this video, it didn't pop up because of a trend or, well, actually, yes, it did. I'm going to explain. So this is my video, and in this video I talked about, going live on YouTube via StreamYard. And if you look at the views sort of like over time, which you can see like in this area over here, if you look over here and the view sort of like bar graph, the first 37 days, really the first 200 days, so a little bit under a year, it didn't have no more than 200 views. But then recently, what I've started to see is it's starting to, get picked back up through search. I'm starting to see it's getting picked up because it's being recommended via like other people's videos. So I think this video is like a good example of this. And, I'm actually excited to see sort of like more videos on my channel do this. The next thing is viewer satisfaction. So what makes YouTube happy when it comes to sort of like who's viewing your content? So basically, YouTube, it incorporates things like surveys. So I know you guys probably seen that survey that pops up every once in a while, like, did you like this content? Or even when you're scrolling on the homepage, it'll be like, if you remove a video from off of your homepage, it'll be like, okay, do you like to see this type of content? And then it'll have like the little smiley faces and stuff on there. And then, also likes and dislikes, this type of feedback they take into consideration of whether someone likes your video or not. And then they also talked about how YouTube cares. Basically, YouTube cares about whether the viewers feel like you wasted their time or whether their time was well worth spent. So, you know, other than the metrics like watch time, it also factors in surveys and other engagement things. It basically talks about how creators should focus on delivering value rather than just making viewers stay longer just to make your video long. And yeah, I think this basically answers the question, you know, what length my video should be, because I know that's like a common question when people also are on YouTube, like, should my videos be long or should my videos be short? YouTube really doesn't care, I guess, whether it's short or it's long. They just really want to know whether viewers got value out of that video and whether they feel like their time was well worth spent again. Next is performance metrics. So you have metrics like the click-through rate and the watch time, and we hear a lot of people talking about those metrics. But what they were basically saying is that these metrics, it also depends on sort of like the content type and also what platform your content is on. So your phone versus your TV or like your tablet. So they take into consideration the click-through rate and the watch time based on sort of like what device people are watching from. And I found this very interesting because I just saw a video and it was talking about like how more and more people are like watching YouTube on their their television, and how and basically how YouTube currently has more people on their platform than Netflix does. So I think this makes sense. And then another thing that they mentioned was multi-language content. So they definitely said that you're going to want to use some sort of like multi-language content or sort of like add it in there somehow, specifically translating your titles and translating the descriptions. And yeah, I recently had a comment on my channel, and you can sort of like see it down here. And it basically said like, your videos doesn't have automatic dubbing, and it would be good if they had, because, this specific person, they didn't speak really good English, so that would be helpful. So that's kind of what this reminded me of, and it just kind of proved their point that like having your content in like multiple different languages, or at least translating the titles and the descriptions, it really goes a long way. The next things is channel trends and seasonality. And basically what they said is that YouTube channels naturally experience peaks and dips in views, and factors like seasons, topics, and sort of like what audiences are watching contribute to this. And I've said this before, where it's like, don't sort of like worry about your views in the short term and analyze sort of like in the long term instead. The eighth thing that they brought up was the subscription tab. And basically what they were talking about was you should really pay attention to your subscription tab, because it shows how your most loyal audience, or basically your subscribers, engages with your video. And they also say to focus on this tab because this feed isn't influenced by YouTube's algorithms, and it gives you a raw view of how your content is actually resonating with your audience. So, and when I heard this, I had to do a bit of looking around, because I was like, okay, what is a subscription tab? And you can find it on your phone, or you can find it on your computer, wherever you're looking. And personally, I don't really go on the subscriptions tab, but after taking a look at the subscriptions tab, I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to be coming over here more often, because that's like the people that I'm actually subscribed to, and that's the content that I be, looking for when I get on the platform. And I don't see that all the time when I go to the homepage. So I also found it in the YouTube analytics, and basically where you can find this at is under traffic sources. So this is what they were talking about when they were saying, analyze your sort of like your subscriptions versus sort of like your other traffic sources. So I get most of my traffic from the homepage. I've been getting most of my traffic from the homepage for quite a while now. But and this is the browse features. So this encompasses like the home, the subscriptions, the watch later, the watch history, and then like the personalized playlist and stuff. So I get most of it from the homepage. And then subscriptions is actually the second most the second place where most of the people find my content at. So I thought this was like very interesting to look at. As far as like the click through rate, is actually not that far behind the homepage. Now the homepage does have like way more traffic, like that's where the majority of it come from, but the subscription is not far behind. So I view that as a good thing. And then the last thing that they sort of talked about was the use of AI in their sort of like algorithm. So what they basically said was that the AI allows for more detailed and personalized recommendations, and the algorithm can now understand not just the topic of your video, but also the style, the mood, or the unique features inside of there. So I always say that the YouTube algorithm is there to help you, and I think this just shows that because with I guess this AI model, it's more likely to find the people for you and that want your specific content. So yeah, if you made it to the end here, thank you for watching. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about the points that were brought up? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.